Hey guys, welcome back to Concordia Jedi. So I recently went through a bunch of comments in the Q&As and whatever, and I found a list of Caseus questions that you guys had asked that I hadn't gotten around to really answering just yet. Mainly about the lore, but some about the writing process. And I figured I'll answer them here. There are more, so I might do a part 2, depending on how long this one is. But let's get right into it. There won't be any names in this one just for the ease of editing because it's close to Christmas and it's almost -10 out and it's very cold and I don't feel like going through that process. So just know these are questions that were asked by all of you. So if you know yours or if you see your question being answered, good. Let's get right into this. Let's just get this one out of the way. What the f*** is a Caseus?
Hilarious, that's original. Hilarious, that's...
Thank you, Don't At Me, for that wonderful running joke we now have in this community. But to answer that question, Caseus is a character that I made in my series that I've written, my series of audiobooks here on the channel, the Book of Caseus. He is a Jedi from the era of the prequels into the era of the Empire, and you can... I'm on the 9th book right now. There's 8 full books you can listen to. They're in playlists. Go check them out. Number 2. Is Master Ta'kai Caseus' mother or just a mother figure? She is not his actual mother, but she is very much his mother in every sense except blood relation. The bond that Caseus has with his master is very much a mother and son bond. And we'll dive a little deeper into this when I get to the Ta'kai book that will be coming out. Well, it's almost 2023, so in 2023, Ta'kai's book will be released. I think it's going to just be a single book, probably 20 or 25 chapters, just called Ta'kai. And you'll learn about her backstory, her history with Dravok, and you'll go more into her relationship not only with Dravok, but also with how she grows to bond so close to Caseus and the reasons behind it. But no, she is not his actual mother, just a mother figure, but they are very much a mother and son dynamic. Number 3, what made you decide to reuse Serra from the Revenge of the Sith game and put her into Caseus? So I've actually gotten this one quite a few times. What I liked about the Revenge of the Sith video game is, like, as you're playing as Anakin, not only are you actively taking part in Order 66, a tragic event, killing Jedi, like these people that you lived with and were working alongside for years as Anakin, but you know, they reused so many models. It's like, oh, here, I'm killing this Jedi again, I'm killing this Jedi again, oh, here's a big Jedi. None of them had any feeling or weight to them, really. But then you see this one Jedi who's one part of a 2-part boss battle, and it's this Jedi with 2 green lightsabers, a female, Serra, and Anakin describes her as Sindralig's greatest pupil, and something about her I thought was just really cool, and I liked how she fought, I liked the way her character model moved, I liked her dialogue, her voice actress, and all I could think was, like, why didn't we get more of this character, like some backstory on her? Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she only appeared in one other one-off appearance, and that was in a Clone Wars comic book. And all I could think was, like there should have been more to this character. And then as I'm writing Caseus and I'm trying to come up with characters, I'm like, why don't we repurpose this character from the video game and give her a backstory, like something I always wanted for her? And so yeah, I put her in. I really liked how it came out, and apparently like all of you did too, so thank you very much for that. But yes, that is the main reason, is because I saw she didn't have a backstory. I thought she was interesting and I wanted to give her a backstory. Thank you for the question. Number 4, how old was Caseus in the first book? Caseus was 16 in Caseus Jedi Apprentice, almost 17. So he's not a man yet. He's still very much a teenager, and so that was kind of a struggle for me, like writing realistic dialogue for, like, if I was writing realistic dialogue for a teenager, it would be a lot of swearing and BS that, like, my teenage cousin does. But, like, a teenager who's grown up in this order of space wizards, these wise stoic monks, like, how would someone who's a teenager still growing up experiencing life like this, how would they speak, how would they interact with others? And so, yeah, Caseus is 16, and I really enjoyed the process of writing out his character there. Number 5, what would have happened if Caseus was on Geonosis in Dawn of War? Simple, he would have died. Yeah, I don't think there's any other way to put it. I think only a handful of Jedi survived the arena battle on Geonosis. And sadly, Caseus, during the time of Dawn of War, still a Padawan, still learning, strong. He's very hardy, he's headstrong, but he would not have survived the Battle of Geonosis, sadly. So it's good that he went to go help save his master. Number 6, what happened to Giadome after Dawn of War? So this is one that I'm kind of on the fence about answering, because Giadome, as I've said before, is not strictly my character. He's a friend of mine, another member of Concordia Jedi, just like with Thomas, who created the character of Dravok, and I created the story. My buddy was like, "Hey, what about my character? You think you can find a way to fit him in?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I can." And so we're currently running through ideas for a possible backstory, or not backstory, but a possible spin-off series for him, showing, what happened to him after Dawn of War, like where he went from there. So I can't answer it directly just yet, but hopefully in the future we will find out. Number 7, what Jedi class would the main Caseus characters fit into? So we'll start with Caseus. Caseus, I believe, most likely would fit into the consular class, mainly due to the fact that as skilled as he is with his lightsaber, Caseus is never the first to draw his weapon unless it's in a dire situation or he's in a bad headspace. He's always looking for ways to avoid conflict, something that falls more in line with the way of the consular. The diplomat, someone looking for a peaceful resolution before it comes to violence. Corbin, on the other hand, falls much more into the Guardian category. The Jedi Guardians being the warriors and defenders of the Jedi Order who would fight against the Sith and all the enemies of the Jedi. Corbin was a very action-oriented person, so he would definitely be in the Guardian category. And I believe same with Serra. While you might say that maybe she could fit into the Sentinel class, but I see her fitting more into the Guardian, because while she is kind of a middle ground between Caseus and Corbin, I feel she's more oriented towards let's take action now. So I feel that she would definitely fit into the Guardian category as well. Master Ta'kai, obviously, same thing, consular. She and Caseus both share that diplomatic style of trying to avoid conflict whenever possible. Dravok, definitely Guardian, although he'd probably fall into a category all of his own with the path that he took. And then Giadome, I feel probably in the Sentinel class. Giadome strikes me as kind of like a healthy mixture of both consular and Guardian. And I feel that probably helped him during his time, surviving after Order 66. And let's close with Liara. From what we saw of Liara in the books that she was in, I'd say she probably also fits into the Guardian class, because she still was more prone to taking action than Caseus was. Maybe not in a physical sense, but especially when she was trying to get Caseus to agree to the mission on Bakura, she wanted to take action, and she did take action, forcing Caseus' hand into the battle. So that's the answer to that question, I believe. Number 8, why is Master Ta'kai so hot? I don't know. I mean, there's no reason we can't have a little bit of eye candy, can we? Anyway, next question. Number 9. Why did you not have Caseus and Anakin meet before Knightfall? The reason was because I wanted Caseus to feel as separated from the Skywalker story as possible. And the reason I wanted that is because if you look at Revenge of the Sith and you just look at the Jedi during Order 66 who were killed in the background, these Jedi that are just dropping dead, chances are half of them didn't even have any interactions with Anakin. They knew who he was, but they probably never even talked to him. And I wanted that sense for Caseus, that sense of this guy that, like, he really had no interaction with, only ever met a couple times in passing maybe, and now he's trying to kill him as though he's his worst enemy. He's taken everything from him, and they shared nothing. There was no shared history between them. And I feel that kind of adds to a more tragic nature for their relationship. That's the main reason I did that. And number 10, will Dravok get his own backstory? I can't say for sure whether Dravok will get his own backstory. I will say this. In Caseus Clone Wars Chronicles, Dravok will get his own short story in there, as will many of the other characters. It's going to be a collection of short stories set during the Clone Wars. Dravok will get a story of his own in there, and he will get a lot of his own backstory in the Ta'kai novel. But yeah, maybe at some point in the future, a one-off story with him. Anyway, thank you guys so much for asking these questions. If you have any more, leave them down below. I'll answer them when I can. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Have a Merry Christmas. We'll see you all later.